For practice later, who won't work and who will be?
Garrett obviously won't, and Caden Stern's not going to work today, but I think he'll be ready tomorrow. He's got a little shoulder.
Do you have timetables on Garrett and also Callahan with IR?
Callahan will be out for a few weeks. It's non-surgical. This microphone's a little off here. Non-surgical, but he'll need a few weeks.
Will he go on the IR?
Yeah.
How about Bowles?
He won't go on IR.
Okay. Been a couple days since the Vaughn trade now. How much confidence do you have in your edge rushers to pick up that slack?
I got good confidence in those guys. You know, I think they all did a good job the other night, especially with Steven now being his second week here. Expect him to pick up his play even more. He contributed heavily the other night. We got Malik, Coop. We're good there. And Aaron Patrick's coming along. And we got Bradley coming back here in a few weeks, too. So we have good confidence out there.
George mentioned. Go ahead, George.
Vaughn was obviously a leader for you guys. Who do you look to maybe step up and fill that role? Is it by committee or is it a couple guys you
Well, obviously, your first thought goes to the 5 other captains. Those guys will do a good job of that. But I don't think you have to be a captain to be a leader. Everybody can be a leader at different times during the day, during a game, during the week. And it's up to everybody to lead themselves, number one. That's the best way to be a leader is through your actions, not through your words. And number two, to anybody. You don't have, like I said, anybody can be a leader at any point in time.
George Payton mentioned yesterday Aaron Patrick is a guy with a lot of natural talent that you can see when he runs down on special teams, still learning the game. Do you expect him to kind of start playing a role defensively a little bit more?
Hopefully. We got to get him, taught the techniques and the assignments that we need to have him execute. But hopefully we can get him rolling.
Well, Ojimudie and Bassi practice today?
Bassi will. OJ will not.
Who are the candidates to play nickel besides Hairston?
Hairston is. We're going to take a look at Kyle Fuller in there. Those are the 2 main ones right now. And in a pinch, Patrick Surtain could go back in there.
Okay.
Calvin Anderson is going to.
Who's that?
Calvin Anderson's going to go at left tackle.
Yeah.
And I know you've vouched for him before. What do you need to see from him this week to get ready?
I need to see him play the way he's capable of playing, which I think is at a good level. And I have a lot of confidence in Calvin. I have for a long time. He knows that. And I expect him to go out there and play good. I really do.
What did you see from Nate Hairston, not only down the stretch, but also just in practice that could make him hit?
Yeah, he was ready to go. There it is. You're in the middle of a fourth quarter of a tight ball game, and you got to go. And it's at a point in time where they're throwing it a lot, and he came through and was pleased with his play.
Vic, when you have a situation like this week, Zach, may go, may not go, might be Cooper. Do you prepare for the system because they're going to run the same sort of thing?
Yeah, you prepare more for the system. I mean, they, Rush played last week against Minnesota. It was still the same offense. They may have leaned a little heavily more on some plays. You always tailor the you don't change the offense, but you call it and tailor it to what the quarterback likes and what he can do and what he feels comfortable with. So it changed in that regard, but not in their scheme.
Have you gotten the sense that the defense has kind of embraced the challenge of playing without Vaughn and maybe has something to prove here without him?
I don't know. I wouldn't try and make a story out of something that's not there, but they went out last week and played good without him, and I expect them to play the rest of the season good without him.
Sometimes when you trade a star player, it can indicate you're surrendering on a season. What was your message to your guys in the wake of trading Vaughn? Because he is an iconic player here.
Yeah, well, nobody's surrendering here, and we talked to the team about that. We have confidence in the players that will step in for him. We have confidence in our team, still has the ability to improve a lot, and that's what we're counting on. There's no surrender.
I'm just curious what your conversation with Vaughn was like on Monday.
Yeah, it was, a little bit emotional for both of us. Gave a big old hug, a long hug, hard squeeze. Just told him I was going to miss him. I enjoyed being around him, and I'll stay in touch with him.
Do you ever allow yourself, you had, 4.5 games with Bradley and Vaughn together in your time here. Do you ever allow yourself to think,
Where'd the
what if?
half come from?
4 games. No, Jacksonville,
year.
half of Jacksonville.
10 plays. Yeah, so that answers your question with my answer.
But is it? Do you ever look back and say how much different this defense could have been?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally you do, but that's the way this league goes. You know, it's a fantasy football mentality, Nintendo football mentality. It doesn't matter. They want results, and we got to get the results.
Vic, George was really supportive of you yesterday, said you were a big reason why you took the job. What's that mean when you hear it, and what do you think it signals to the team?
Yeah, it didn't surprise me because George has said that before, but I thoroughly enjoy working with George. I think he does a tremendous job. I think he's, if not the best, one of the top assets this franchise has moving forward. And he just does a tremendous job. No job's too big, no job's too small. He just gets involved and gets after it. And I love working with him.
You said after the game, need to score more points to be able to keep up with Dallas this weekend. What do you see that suggests that's possible?
We gotta do everything a little bit better. You know, we gotta protect a little better. We gotta run it a little bit better. We gotta throw and catch it a little bit better. Just a little bit in all areas will provide more results.
Yesterday, George mentioned that the mood was dour around here for losing such a outsized personality as Vaughn. Is there an emotional hurdle that you kind of have to navigate with your team this week? Being that you lost this iconic figure.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we all love and appreciate what Vaughn's done here for this team over the years, but it's not the first time it's happened in the NFL. You know, the 49ers traded Joe Montana.
Emotion about that, though.
What's that?
I mean, when they traded Joe Montana, I'm sure there was a little bit of a.
Yeah, there was. There's emotion, no doubt. You acknowledge what the guy has accomplished, what he's meant to this team and organization, what he's meant to this city. But, you know, we got guys that can go in there and play for him. I had the same situation when I was with the Saints many, many years ago. We didn't bring Ricky Jackson back, who's one of the all-time iconic Saints players, and he's still one of the all-time iconic Saint players and still one of the most popular Saint players of all time. And when he's in New Orleans, which he is there a lot, it's where he lives mainly, it's like nothing happened. You know, it's just part of the NFL.
How unique is the way they use Micah Parsons?
Yeah, he plays inside and outside, so it is unique. He's got versatility in his abilities to play in and out. He's a really explosive athlete, and he's a playmaker. You know, they got a good player.
What was your evaluation on Mike going into the draft?
Yeah, we really liked him. We did. You know, if we didn't take Pat, he was the guy that was right there for us.
Will Mike Boone figure into the game plan this week? Or
It's possible, yeah.
everything's all good with him? He was just
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
What do you see in their run defense improvement? Why?
Well, one reason is they've went out this offseason and really loaded up on the defense. You know, free agency and the draft. So they improved their personnel and their talent level on defense. And really, you don't need to say much more than that.
Shelby and Draymond, from a sack production standpoint, had their best game of the year. Do you see them kind of building on that, or did you kind of see that coming given the pressures that they've been creating?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think somebody asked me a similar question last week. They're getting close, but not getting home. You got to keep chopping wood, and you'll get home eventually. And that's what they did, and we're going to need them to continue that.
Thanks, Vic.
thanks, Vic.
All right,
Thanks, Vic.
Appreciate it.
thanks
tomorrow.
everybody.